back with another one. And like I said, I am returning to update you on exactly how to join the SIU and basically the steps involved to get to phase one. But yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff involved, and you know what? Let me just get right to it. Union Hall. Depending on where you are, there's numerous union halls throughout the country. There's been some overseas, like in Puerto Rico or Guam. You can go to those as well. You want to go to the union hall and basically apply. But how do you do that? Is basically go to c4s.org and you'll look for an application, join now, and they will give you an application, fill it out. You'll get a call from the union hall, and then that's the union hall you'll go to. You will then take an aptitude test. Now, you're technically gonna take those tests again, but you're gonna take the test. It's gonna be a math and a reading test. It's basically just to say, hey, you know how to read and you can calculate stuff. It just qualifies you to get in. These I do think you can, these I do think that you can fail, but once you get into the program, you take them again, and it's just an aptitude test to tell you where exactly you will be. And then after that, you're going to get an email. I took my test in the end of July. I want to say like 27th of July. I got my email November 5th. So it's going to take a while for you to get your congratulations letter, or maybe you get denied for whatever reason. But you're going to get your congratulations letter. There's not many people I know that did get denied. Then again, that could be biased because I'm in an environment where everybody got accepted, so it just depends. And then I didn't actually see that email until January. So there is a time limit that you need to answer that email. And I believe it is 3 months. I could be wrong, but I believe it is 3 months. I got it within 2 months, so I was still okay. I was like 2 months in a week. So it was okay, but as 2 months and 1 week later, I was still able to get accepted. So don't think that you have to answer it right away. You should answer it right away. That's actually, you're trying to become a marine merchant. But if you don't see it for whatever reason and it happens to be a week later, as long as it isn't 3 months later, you're okay. But I do know if it gets a little further than that, then you would have to wait a year before you can reapply. And then after that, you will then be instructed to get your TWIC card. You can go get that. You get your little passport photos. You go to, like, I don't know, anywhere that takes. I know where I went was the Staples. They had a TWIC card center that I gave them. They took my photos there, and they gave me copies of them to send into SIU. You get like a whole instruction packet, and they actually did the TWIC card for me. You'll also have instructions within the packet to get your MMC. Now, what is important is that you follow the way that the MMC is done. You want to use SIU's route of getting the MMC instead of getting your own. And if you go on the government website, there's an option that'll say, hey, you put in like a code and you'll pay the 140, I believe it was, and I believe the TWIC card at the time was 125. It's subject to change, so I don't really want to say prices. But the TWIC card was about 125 when I paid, and then the MMC was 140. That was on the .gov website. Again, that website will be in your packet. There's no reason to tell you the website if you haven't gotten there. But you can just Google, hey, I want to get an MMC. You do it your own way, and you're more than welcome. This is not the only way you have to go to to become a marine merchant. Like an accelerated way of doing that, but you can definitely go get it. You don't have to go through this program at all to get your MMC, your TWIC card. That can completely be on you, and you can just jump on a ship. Now, you'll be a seabook, so it'll be a little harder, but you can do it on your own. But I digress. Let's go back to it. So you can get your MMC You go on the .gov website, you put in the code that will be in the pamphlet, and you fill it out exactly the way they are. The only one you're doing this for is the MMC, so make note of that. And then you will have some other documents that you will have to fill out, like your health. You'll have to look for your health records. You'll have to know what shots that you took. There's going to be a lot of shots that you're going to have to take, from typhoid to yellow fever to measles. There's a lot of things in different parts of the world that you would need a vaccine for, because you may be getting off from these countries. So you'll have to know that for a fact, and you'll have to understand that these are the things that you want to do if you're going to do it. I think hepatitis B is one of them, hepatitis A is one of them, or hepatitis C, something like that. There's a bunch of them that you got to take, but there's going to be a bunch of shots that you're going to have to take and get immunization records for. If you've already taken it, you're going to have to send that in to them. If not, they will supply you with a way to take it. But again, you have to do it through this program for them to do it. If not, you will have to do it your own way. And I heard those vaccine prices are a lot. So there is that. You're going to have to go to the dentist. You're going to have to fill out a BMI form. There's a whole bunch of forms that you're going to have. There's a lot of paperwork. Put it like that. There's a lot of paperwork to fill out. But once you get over that, then they are basically, it's just a waiting list at that point. You're not waiting to get in. How I did it, I had all my paperwork in basically by March. I had my MMC, my TWIC card, everything that I needed. Oh, I had to redo my passport. You will need a passport. My passport was expiring, so I actually got my passport like a day before it was maybe March 20th or something like that. And all my paperwork, basically, from the time I sent that email, from the time I received that email to March, I basically had all my paperwork. So it took like 2 months to get everything down pat. But then I waited about a year and a half. It was gruesome. And then I had finally gotten an email, and it said I was waitlisted till the following year, and that was devastating. So what I did do was I started calling, and I waited till maybe the summertime to start calling like once a month. And then I waited till maybe like the end of the summer. I started calling once a week. Then it became like once a day. And I'll never forget, I had gotten a call. I had called one time, and they were like, "Oh, you're getting a call. You've been waiting for that long, yada yada yada. Let's see if there might be a spot opening up for you." Maybe that end of that week, I had gotten an email. I didn't see it. It came in on the 20th. And I'm trying not to say dates so you don't know the class. Like I said, I'm going to leave that exclusively for Patreon if you want to know. But if anything, you can come back. And I'm going to be almost done. Yeah, I'm still at the facility here, so people are now like looking at my stuff, but it's cool. So you can definitely get your information down. Kind of forgot train of thought. Don't judge. You can get you can get your information, and you call as much as you can, because technically out of sight, out of mind, right? But if you call, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. I don't know if that makes sense, but figure it out. Basically what I'm saying is, if you want it, you gotta go for it. You know what I mean? Unless you will be waiting for a while. And there's a long list of people. Like I said, I waited a year and a half because there was that many people coming in. There's one class per month. The average classes, and this is something I can find on anywhere online, so I'm just telling you, the average class sizes are usually anywhere from 12 to about 22 people. It's not many people per month. So you want to call and see if you can get in there as one of these people. But I think it's one of the most underrated experiences, jobs that you can go for. I mean, why are we doing this? A lot of people are doing it for the travel. People are doing it for the money. People are doing it to escape from the 9 to 5. Whatever the reason is, this job will answer those. It will quench those thirsts, I guess you can say, or whatever you're looking for, but it will definitely help in those areas of what you're looking for, and then some. And then the paycheck is not bad either. You're getting, you're receiving large chunks of your time, and then you can take time off. You know, you can work 4 months of the year, and okay. So somebody just passed me a letter, and he basically said, "Will expiring passport delay you from boarding the ship?" The answer is yes. You can't get on a ship if your passport is about to expire. I remember, and I'm sorry I'm getting thrown off, but I got a little card here. Somebody just kind of put it into the screen, and somebody passed it to me. So I remember when I was in school, and I was actually going to do studying abroad, and we were going to go to China, but my passport at the time expired in March. We were going to China in December. I couldn't go to China because it was expiring 6 months before my travel time. So you want to make sure that all of your paperwork is up to date, nothing is expired. You're going to need your IDs. Everything has to be current and not within a year. Don't let it expire within the year, or renew it. You have usually you can renew, I think, the passport within 8 months. But you want to make sure all of your stuff is up to date. That is very important, because if it isn't, literally there's nothing that SIU can do to get you on a boat because you got on when it was good. Because when you get to port and your passport is expired, and the immigration either comes on the boat or they check your paperwork in some way, it's not you getting in trouble, it's the captain. So the captain isn't going to let you on the boat if your passport is expired, because he's not getting in trouble for someone he just met. You know what I mean? So make sure all your paperwork is up to date. But this is a video to get into the SIU, so they are going to make sure all of that is done before you even show up. You know what I mean? They want to make sure that when you are able to get on a boat, you can. So to answer your question, will expiring passport delay us from boarding a ship? The answer is yes. It definitely will. Okay, so now back to it. I was calling to get in. Yes, I'm back to that. I was calling to get in, and they finally found a spot for me. And I had to scramble. Because literally when I got called, I had a month to get everything done. You don't get the following steps until you get that call. And I had to go report to take my medical. I had to do a whole bunch of stuff. And then when I applied for my medical, I had to show up. We had to do a bunch of tests. They stabbed me with a bunch of vaccines. And then I had to do a little physical. We did like this test. I think it's called the benzene test, where you have to blow the candles out. That was one of the hardest tests in the world. Not because it's hard, but just blowing until you can't blow anymore. You don't realize that you're out of air until you take that test. They make sure all the air is gone. And then sooner or later, you're gonna have a date, and you're gonna have your class, and by that date, you need to have all your paperwork in. And I'll tell you, for me, I didn't get my paperwork in until the Thursday before my class started. So they will work with you, but you just have to make sure that everything is in order, and please have everything up to date. Again, they will help you out with that, and you can call the girls in the office. You can definitely call. They will help you out. They'll make sure everything is prepared, everything is ready for you. So, because at the end of the day, it is a liability for them as a company. So they want to make sure that if they put you on a boat, you are good to go. So they almost have to help you. They're incentivized to help you to make sure that they're protected. It is business after all, right? So that's pretty much all of the things that I kind of had to do to join in the SIU. But I will say, I really do believe that you want to make sure everything is okay. You want to make sure everything, your immunizations record is good, the MMC is good, the TWIC card is good. By the way, the MMC that you're gonna pay for is at pay.gov. You're gonna go there and pay that. I figured I might as well just tell you. But yeah, you're gonna get an email. You get like 3 emails from them, basically every step before you get into the phase. And then you show up for day 1. You kind of gotta fly into the airport before 12 o'clock. If you miss that window, the window for me was between 8 and 12. If you miss that window, you have to wait a year before you can apply again. So don't miss that window. And then when you show up, it's game time as soon as you get here. Don't think that you resting and doing a whole bunch of stuff. Once 1 o'clock hits, get ready. They're gonna put you. They gonna do what they do. So that is all the time I have. It's Chris Jack, Canvas Nomad here. And if you made it this far in the video, you, my friend, are certainly appreciated. Peace.